and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and welcome here to a Barcelona news roundup video featuring the following: the Neymar rumours that simply will not go away. He has been linked once again over the festive period to a return to Barcelona. We've also got the latest on Lionel Messi, who did a really extensive interview with BARÇA over the Christmas break, and there's some really interesting quotes that I want to bring you from that interview. And of course, we are going to have the full latest on the January transfer window, which really is just around the corner. All of that and a bit more. It's coming right up here. Let's do this. But first of all, guys, just want to say thank you very much for your patience. Obviously, I haven't uploaded as much as I wanted to over the Christmas break. I was away with my family. I'm back now, though, and ready to go with the videos. And of course, I hope that you all had a fantastic time over Christmas, whether it be with your family, with your friends, however you spent it. I hope that it was brilliant, and I'm absolutely sure that you're all completely full with food now and unable to eat another thing. But one thing that I do want to bring you, which is very, very important with regard to anything that you might hear in the Spanish news today, is with regards to April Fool's Day, which in Spain is celebrated on December the 28th, which is today. So anything you read today in the Spanish media with regard to football, it may be true, it may well be true, but I'd also take some caution. There's often a lot of jokes, a lot of misinformation, simply because today is their version of April Fool's Day. So just be very, very careful with everything you see in Spain in today's news. But first of all, guys, we'll start with that Neymar story, and basically I just want to bring you this because I still think it's speculation, it's rumours, it's to sell papers, is nothing too significant on the Neymar front. It was AS, a Madrid publication, that came out and said that Neymar is desperate, absolutely desperate to return to Barcelona this summer, and he's going to do everything in his power to try and make that happen. But I just want to say, a lot more Barcelona players now seem to be coming out and actually talking about Neymar, and not only talking about him, but saying, look, we want him to come back. That's the only thing that I've noticed in the last few weeks. There has been a lot more talk about Neymar within the camp at Barcelona, and starting here with none other than the Brazilian Arthur Melo, who told MUNIR that he's personally praying for Neymar to return to Barcelona this summer. He said the better players that Barcelona have, the better the club will become. It'll be better for us if Neymar returns. He's a top-class player, he's right up there, and he would be a fantastic addition to the squad, and he would love to play alongside him. Arthur said the two of them are very good friends, they often talk. He's actually been doing his best to persuade Neymar to actually return to Barcelona this summer, but he did admit that it would be a very, very tough operation. But I also want to bring you the thoughts of none other than Lionel Messi, who, like I say, did an interview with BARÇA over the Christmas break. It was basically after he picked up his big record-breaking Golden Shoe Award, and he was speaking to BARÇA on a range of different things, but Neymar was one of the things that did come up in the interview. He was asked about Neymar returning to the club, and Messi said the following: I think, first of all, it's very, very complicated. He said we would love for him to return, we would love for him to come back into the team, and what it would mean as a player would be fantastic, but also as a person for the dressing room. He's a personal friend of mine. I would love to see him back. We had great moments on the pitch. We had a few ones that weren't so good either, but we had a lot of time together. He is a good friend of mine. But he did also say it does look very, very hard for him to leave Paris Saint-Germain because they simply won't let him go. So even Messi there, talking about Neymar, talking about the return, they both say it's going to be difficult, both Arthur and Messi, but they both say they would love to have him back. So going on further now with that Messi interview, you've spoken also about Cristiano Ronaldo. They basically asked him in the interview what he thought of Cristiano Ronaldo, saying that he needs to leave La Liga to really challenge himself and accept the challenge of maybe joining Ronaldo in Italian football. And I think Messi's answer is absolutely brilliant. He said, I don't need any change. I don't feel the need to change. He said, I really enjoyed my rivalry alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, but right now I'm at the best team in the world, and where I want to be, my challenges are renewed year after year. I have different objectives. I push myself. I don't need to change teams or new leagues to set myself new goals. I'm at home here, and I do not intend on leaving. And that for me was brilliant from Messi, and absolutely bang on with what he was saying there. He was also asked, of course, about the Ballon d'Or, losing out to Luka Modric, and not only losing out, but finishing fifth in the Ballon d'Or standings. I won't get started on that. I can't go back over that again. It's Christmas, after all. And Messi said the following: as soon as I heard the nominees for the Ballon d'Or, I knew that I would not be in the fight this year. I already knew that I wouldn't win it. I didn't even look to see if I finished 3rd, 4th or 5th. I knew that I wouldn't win, and I had accepted that. So clearly Messi there not putting a lot of importance on the Ballon d'Or. He did say that it's a very prestigious trophy, but he just said he knew that it wasn't going to happen for whatever reason, and for that was it for him. That was done, and that was final. He was also asked, and this is a very good answer as well, on Ousmane Dembélé. He said, on the pitch, Dembélé is a phenomenon. He has unique qualities, and it only depends on him where he wants to go in his career, because for me, he can go all the way to the top. He has all the possibilities to achieve whatever he wants in the game. He can be one of the best players in the world because of these qualities. He's a young lad who's adapting to the city and this club. He realised the mistakes that he's made in the past, but he's rectified them now, and I'm very calm. He's a good boy, and together we are going to help him to focus on football and make him the best player that he possibly can. So really glowing words there from Messi on Dembélé. A lot of support, both on the pitch and off the pitch as well. These players around him are determined to make Dembélé into the player that he clearly can become. And like Messi said there, on the pitch, he is a phenomenon. There's no doubt about that. And just finally, Messi also reserved some special words for former Barcelona coach Pep Guardiola, now of Manchester City, of course. And he did say, I would love to work with Pep Guardiola once again in my career. He's one of the best coaches in the world of football, and that's why I'd love to work with him again. But he did say, just like with Neymar, it is very, very complicated that will happen. It's unlikely, extremely unlikely, that Pep will return to Barca. And of course, Messi, no intention on leaving Barca, so it is tough. But if the chance came, Messi would of course love to be under Pep's control once again. And just a final line there from that Lionel Messi interview. Now of course Messi is a phenomenal player, the best player in my opinion of all time, but of course he's still a human too. He's still got family, he's still got his children, his wife, he loves to go home, he loves to spend time with them. And it's such an interesting quote, brilliant from Messi. He said, when we lose a game, I go home and my son THIAGO, he forces me to comment on what happened in the match, and he actually makes me explain why we didn't win or why I didn't play well. I talk with THIAGO a lot about football. We talk about it a lot more than we did in the past. He's getting more and more into it. Imagine having Lionel Messi as your father. That would be something very, very special. And I just thought that it was very interesting to look into the world of Lionel Messi. It's not often that he does these kind of interviews with the press. You know, he doesn't really unlock himself to the world, which I think is absolutely right. He doesn't go and flaunt everything in front of the public eye. Messi very much keeps himself and his family to himself. But here, some very interesting words on the player that we all idolise. But of course now, it is time to move our thoughts to the January transfer window. On Tuesday, the 1st of January, as 2019 begins, the winter transfer window will open and clubs will be able to sign players once again for the entire month of January. And one player whose fate could be decided in this coming window is none other than MUNIR El Haddadi. And that's simply because Barcelona are now in the position whereby they failed to agree a new deal with him. He hasn't been able to sort of renew his contract at Barcelona, and therefore his current contract expires this coming summer, which means that in January MUNIR is free to agree a move elsewhere ahead of then a free transfer away from the club when his contract expires on June the 30th. However, Barcelona, I feel, may be intent on trying to get some sort of transfer fee for MUNIR instead of letting him go in the summer for absolutely nothing. In January they may try and sell him at a cut price in the coming month or so, but then of course we will leave ourselves pretty short in the striking department, and it'll be interesting to see how this one progresses, where MUNIR wants to go, whether we want to get a bit of money for him or whether he'll leave for free in the summer. And finally, of course, we must discuss one deal that has already been done this January, and that is Jeison Murillo, who was presented at the Camp Nou yesterday following his 6-month loan deal from Valencia. He was presented in front of fans at the Camp Nou. He spoke, of course, with the local media. He signed his contract, and he was paraded with the number 17 shirt that he will wear for the remainder of the season. He sat down in front of the press and he said it's a dream come true that he was at Barcelona, that he was really, really happy and excited to get going and get into games as quickly as possible. He said that he he was going to give absolutely everything to succeed here. And quite interestingly, he also said that he's a very, very close friend of compatriot Yerry Mina, and they actually spoke to Mina before he was going to join Barcelona, and Yerry Mina spoke glowingly about the club and actually encouraged him to join Barcelona, which really is very nice to hear. And just finally, guys, before we do end this video, there was one report that came out just a few days ago from Sport, which basically said that with regard to Frenkie de Jong this summer, we have agreed personal terms. Now, read into that what you will. Obviously, there's been contrasting reports. Some papers say that we're going for Rabiot. Some papers say that we are going to go for de Jong. Sports say that in terms of personal terms, wages, things like that, everything with Frenkie de Jong has been agreed, and all we're trying to do now is get that fee agreed with Ajax. It could be a big amount. We're trying to get it down, but with regard to de Jong's preference, he wants to join Barcelona, and it could happen in the summer, if reports are to be believed. So that's all for today's news roundup, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining me, and like I say, thank you for your patience with regards to the lack of uploads lately, but there will be a lot more coming up on the channel very, very soon indeed. Stay tuned for that. I'll be back very shortly, but until then, as always, Vesca El Barça!